In this video, I'm going to be reflecting back to the biggest struggles that I had as a beginner rapper and what I would do differently if I was starting over today. The first one is I struggled to remember all the intricacies of what I was doing when I was writing my verses, such as remembering how the rap verse started, remembering some of the more complex cadences that I had in that verse, or how I was structuring some of the rhyme schemes. It's like as I was writing the verse, I'd work all that stuff out perfectly, but then I would come back the following day, maybe to record the vocals, and I just forgot some of that stuff, and I could never retrieve it. And that's super frustrating when you work that hard on perfecting something and then you lose it. And I no longer work this way at all. Now, as I'm writing my song, I'm also recording the vocals at the same time. And that means sometimes I'm recording the vocals before I even write the lyrics down. And this means I'm recording small pieces at a time. And this could be anywhere between 1 to 4 bars. And this typically won't be the final vocals. And this is what I call my reference track. And it's just getting all of my musical ideas down so I don't forget them later. And I'll typically go back and re-record everything when it's time to perfect my delivery. And that brings me to the second biggest struggle I had as a beginner rapper, and that was my delivery was trash. And delivery is the acting part of rapping. After we've spent all that time perfecting our rap flow and our rhyme schemes and pouring our heart out through these lyrics, we have to deliver that in an emotional way that's going to move the listener. And back in the day, I didn't spend much time recording my verses. And actually, a lot of times I would record my verse all in one take on the first attempt, and then I would call it done. And the problem was, that's exactly how it sounded. And I eventually realized, after comparing my rap performance to some of my favorite rappers' performances on their songs, that theirs was way better than mine. And that was because they were spending a lot more time perfecting their performance in the studio. And a lot of them was not recording their vocals like I was. And they were punching in a lot. And if you don't know what punching in is, it's when we either re-record sections of a song we're trying to improve upon, or we're just recording in small sections so that each new recording picks up where the last one left off. And back in the day, I used to look at punching in as like a negative thing. Like that's something you only did if you couldn't rap your verse all the way through. Then I realized that punching in is actually something that we do to perfect the delivery of our rap performance. Punching in is no different than when you see someone filming a movie and they keep recording take after take after take, trying to get different emotions, different vibes, different energies out of the actors. Then they'll let her go through those takes and pick their favorite takes for each scene and compile these different takes together to create one masterful performance. That's also what we call in the audio world is vocal comping. And every single recording you will ever do will be unique. It has its own like unique thumbprint on it. It's never going to be 100% the same. And this is where the real magic happens with your raps. It's all about the performance. You could have the wittiest punchlines, the dopest rap flow, the most deepest lyrics, but if you don't deliver those words, those lyrics, that music in an emotional way that moves the audience, it's not going to hit. And the third biggest struggle that I faced was I would run out of breath a lot. And oftentimes my words would get pretty slurred. And also sometimes I would have to phrase my lyrics in a way that was very unnatural and sounded kind of weird. And all of this was due to one issue, and that was over cramming my bars. As rappers, we have a tendency to be like all gas, no brakes. Rapping can be a very aggressive thing, and there's kind of like the sport element to it, and we want to show people how hard we can go in all of our bars. And so oftentimes we don't prioritize pausing and like clarity of speech and things of that nature. And here's the thing, pausing is not something that you just do when you need to breathe. Pausing is also a musical part of our rap, and it has to do with our cadences and our overall rap flow. You see, what creates a groove and a cadence, it's not just where you're saying the notes, it's also where you're not saying the notes. And in addition to this, another trap that I fell into was I would treat each bar like it was a sentence. And a lot of us rappers fall into this. And this forces us to limit the amount of space that we're giving ourselves to convey whatever thought that we have. And a bar is not a lot of space. And there's nothing wrong with fitting an entire sentence into a bar. We do it all the time. But don't limit yourself to that. Sometimes you need 2 or 4 bars or even more to really convey what it is that you're trying to say. And this opens up so many more possibilities of what you can do. And it's going to prevent you from overcramming your bars and having to phrase things in weird ways just to get them to fit within a bar. Now let's briefly check out an example of Eminem doing this from his song Marshall Mathers. Each of these colors represents Eminem's sentences. For the majority of the time, he gave himself 2 bars to complete a sentence. and his first 4 bars is basically one long run-on sentence. Check this out.
You might see me jogging, you might see me walking. You might see me walking a dead rot while a dog with his head chopped off in the park with a spiked collar, hollering at him cause the son of a bitch won't quit barking. Or leaning out a window with a cocked shotgun, driving up the block in the car that they shot Pac in, looking for big killers, dressing ridiculous, blue and red like I don't see what the big deal is. Double barrel 12 gauge bigger than Chris Wallace. Pissed off cause Biggie and Pop dismissed all this. Watching all these cheap imitations get rich off them and get dollars. It should have been theirs like they switched wallets.
And if you're looking for a lot more quick tips like this to improve your rap skills, then make sure that you check out my quick rap guides, which I'm currently running a 30% off sale for Black Friday, and a link to this will be in the video description below. And if you're new here, my name is ColeMize, and I've been helping rappers perfect their rap skills on this channel for the past 10 years. And if you're looking for some direction on what you should specifically be focusing on as a beginner rapper, then make sure that you get my Rap Essentials bundle, which includes the #1 fundamental to rapping ebook, bar sheets, 6 practice instrumentals, the CMS gear catalog, 3 free rap courses, plus I'll be sharing via email the most essential video tutorials I've made that I recommend every aspiring rapper to watch. These lessons are going to teach you all the core techniques that you need to be a better rapper now. And all of this is 100% free when you join my mailing list via the link in the video description below. Again, my name is ColeMize with ColeMizeStudios.com, and always remember, when it comes to rapping, there's no rules, there's only techniques. Peace.
Hey man, you see that subscribe button right there? Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. Oh, and don't forget the bell icon. Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. Hey, I know you see that like button, right? Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. And look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, today I'm gonna kill it.